Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. हरे कृष्णा. सो बहुत सुंदर महामंत्र का जाप समस्त
very beautiful chanting of the holy names by gathering together. And we are trying to accomplish our sadhana or pure devotional service towards the Lord through chanting for the holy names are beautifully described as principle in the Vedic scriptures, and the glories are sung throughout the scriptures. When the Dwapar Yuga was ending and the Kali Yuga started to manifest,
द्वापर के अंत में
towards the end of the Dwapar Yuga, and the kings started to ignore the principles, and the Brahmanas who are supposed to be living a life of renunciation started making big mansions, and throughout the society was towards the downfall. And in such situation, Devrishi Narad went to his father Lord Brahma Oh, Narad Muni asked a very beautiful question for the benefit not only of his but also for people like us in the Yuga of quarrel and hypocrisy, that is Kali Yuga. So this is mentioned in the Vedas, but it is not in the verse form, it is in the form of prose. So we cannot sing it, we can just speak it. Towards the end of Dwapar Yuga, Dwapara Ante, Sri Narad Muni, Brahmanam means he went to Brahmaji. Brahmaji is the first living entity of this world and who manifested from the lotus from the Lord's belly and who got all the knowledge just by Lord's darshan. And Narad Muni goes to Brahmaji and what did he say after going there?
पिताजी अब तो ब्रह्मा जी को कहते हैं कि अब तो कलयुग आ रहा है.
He says that the Kali Yuga is on.
मुझे कैसे विचरण करना चाहिए
is upcoming and how I should roam and what should we do in this age of Koran and hypocrisy. Every step of the way is filled with obstacles and troubles. So, Paryatan Kalim Santirayam iti, how should we proceed in this Kali Yuga? After listening to Naraji's question, Brahmaji answers. He said that you've asked a very good question because it is not only for your welfare but also for my welfare. So there might be an online program in the future that is Amrit Charcha, and people are going to chant the holy names for 2 hours. And a devotee is going to speak and he's going to tell the people in Amrit Charcha. So this will be for your welfare and for everybody's welfare too. Sadhu Prishtasmi means that you have asked a very good question. So as you've asked such a beautiful question, so I am going to reveal the secret of the Shrutis, which has been a secret. Gopya means secretive. I'm going to tell you. So just listen. That Shunu means you should listen. And what will happen if we listen that? Yen Kali Sansaram. The reveal, I'm going to reveal a secret, intense knowledge which is mentioned in Shrutis in a very secretive form. But, so by this, the person who is entangled in this ocean of material existence will be liberated. The Rishisi means he will be able to cross this ocean of material world.
निर्धुतो कलिर भवति है। ये बहुत रहस्यमयी और श्रुति की सीक्रेट बात नारद ब्रह्मा जी नारद जी को कहते हैं कि भगवान आदि
So he says that Bhagwan Adi Purushasya Narayanasya, that is the eternal Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana. If we chant his name Namucharan Matren, just by chanting the holy name, he will be relieved of the shortcomings and failings of Kali Yuga, Nidhuto Kali Bharvati. That means that Kali Yuga will not be able to touch such people. And we here are doing the same. So Naraji is very intelligent and he asks another question. Prapacha means ask another question. He says that he is told that we should chant the holy names of the Lord. But which name should we chant? Because Hari has so many thousands of names and Krishna has crores of names. So that is why he asked that you are saying that we should chant the holy names of the Lord. Then which name should we chant? So after hearing that, Hiranyagarbha means the the golden lotus flower on which Brahmaji manifests, says,
वह उत्तर कौन सा कलयुग में भगवान का कौन सा नाम कैसा नाम लेना चाहिए
so what name should we chant in the age of Kali Yuga, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy? And he says,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Iti Shodashakam Namna Kali Kalmashanashanam Natah Parataropaya Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drashyate. ये कंटिन्यू यही संवाद चल रहा है, मैंने केवल ऊपर नीचे रखा है ताकि आप ये समझ सको.
So this is the continued conversation, but I have kept it aside so that you can understand it better. So Brahmaji tells Narad Muni on asking again what mantra or what holy name should we chant in Kali Yuga. So Brahmaji says the answer is that Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is the name that we should take in Kali Yuga. So what we are doing is so much accurate. I'm showing you with proof. So in so many places where the chanting is done, but such mantra which has been proved from Vedas and Vedic scriptures is nowhere to be seen. So what we do by getting up in the early morning, chanting the holy names is not an ordinary feat. It's just by the mercy of Prabhupada we are able to we have got it so easily. Not everybody gets it easily. So when we have this secret mantra, we should not treat it cheaply or think it is ordinary. And at the end he concludes, so he says this mantra, which has 16 names, can destroy all the obstacles of the Kali Yuga. What shall I say about the problems of Kali Yuga? The last line is very important to understand. Brahma ji can say that. Why? Because he has studied all the Vedas. He has, as we have gooseberry, similarly, Brahmaji's hand, he has Vedas. He has read and contemplated on all the Vedas. So what is he saying as the conclusion? That, oh Narad Muni, I have seen and read all the Vedas so many times, and after going through all the Vedas, my conclusion is that na para, no other mantra. Apart from this mantra, there is no other solution. And who is saying this? Brahmaji himself, who has himself studied the Vedas in detail. If you have with proof, then I will leave chanting the holy name, this Mahamantra, but you should give me the proof. But here, Rigved also is mentioning the same, that for our welfare, this is the only mantra that can be beneficial. So this is not a small conversation, it was a long conversation. Naraji asked another question yet.
जी ने पूछा कि भगवत को अस्य विधिर इति है भगवान, आपने ये नाम तो बता दिया.
Now that you have revealed the name or the Mahamantra, but what is the process we should follow for chanting these holy names? So what we are doing is not according to the whims or fancy of any individual, but what we are following is the principle from the Vedic injunctions. So he asked the process for chanting these holy names. Brahmaji said that I will tell you that tomorrow. We cannot cover everything in a single day. But we should stand up and dance and sing the Mahamantra. Because while we are sleeping and chanting the holy names, then the Lord comes and sits with us. And if we are sitting, then he stands there. But if we stand and chant the holy names, then the Lord starts dancing. And while we dance while chanting, and when we chant the holy names while dancing, then the Lord enters our heart. So you can decide which way you want the Lord to manifest. So, but we want to have Him in our hearts.
Jaya Jaya Navala Kishore Jaya Gopi Chit Chora Prabhu Jaya Jaya Makhan Chore Jaya Jaya Makhan Chore श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की. उपस्थित
Hare Krishna and all the attendees and devotees who are gathered here, I heartily welcome the senior Vaishnavas of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness Iskcon, who have specially decorated this assembly And I want to welcome in particular all the devotees who have gathered from all the parts of the world through the medium of YouTube, Facebook, etc. I would also like to welcome the host family who have organized this katha to achieve pure devotional service of the Lord by the Patel family, Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Sarita Mataji, Bhumika Ben Amit Kumar, Sunil Prabhu Parul Mataji, Manisha Ben Sanjay Kumar ji, and all the kids, Shreya, Diya, Aarti, Kishan, Rishi, Radhika. I welcome you all on the fourth day of this katha, and our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam.
श्रीमद् भागवत भ्रमर गीत.
So Shrimad Bhagvat, the humming bee or the honey bee.
वैसे आज बहुत अच्छा दिन है.
Today is a very auspicious day.
ये हमारे ऑनलाइन कथा जो हो रही है अमृत चर्चा के माध्यम से.
So the online katha that we are performing through Amrit Charcha,
भरपूर सहयोग है. एक है हमारे दिल्ली से पंकज प्रभु.
so those two people who are supporting this katha, who are doing the translation, Pankaj Prabhu in particular.
आज केयूर प्रभु और उनकी धर्म पत्नी माता जी की मैरिज एनिवर्सरी दिन है. भगवान से प्रार्थना करेंगे कि इनकी जोड़ी सलामत रहे, इनके गृहस्थ जीवन में दिन दोगुनी रात चौगुनी भक्ति और प्रेम बढ़ता रहे, और हम सबको इन कथाओं का इंग्लिश भाषा में ट्रांसलेट मिलता रहे. कल सुना ना, स्वार्थ का संबंध. इनकी बड़ी अच्छी सेवा है और बहुत अच्छा भाव है. और कुछ ही दिनों के बाद हमारे पड़ोसी बनने वाले हैं, हमारी बाजू में रहने आ रहे हैं. आइए सब लोग महामंत्र के साथ इन दोनों जोड़ियों के लिए महामंत्र से प्रार्थना करेंगे. हरे कृष्णा
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे.
श्रीमद् भागवत का ये बहुत सुंदर प्रसंग है.
So this is a beautiful pastime of Shrimad Bhagavatam, where the mellows of the gopis, the eternal associates of the Lord, are expressed. This is no doubt a song of the humming bee or honey bee, but it is also the mellow of Srimati Radharani and the gopis, which has been expressed through this song. As you all are aware of the foundation, Uddhavji is surrounded by all the denizens of Raja, and he's questioned by all of them, and he doesn't respond as he's numb. So they say that even if you don't answer our question, but at least just answer one question. This is not mentioned in Bhagavatam, but it is in the interpretation of Srila Jiv Goswami.
कि कैतव रहितम प्रेम नहीं भवति मानुष्य लोके, इस मनुष्य लोक में,
in this material world,
होता नहीं है,
there is nothing as love.
तो कुत्र विरह,
And if there is love, then why there is separation or viraha? And if they are separated, then how they are still alive? So first of all, they asked,
नहीं भवति मानुष्य लोके, उद्धव इस मनुष्य लोक में बिना कैतव
in this material world, there is no love without ulterior selfish motive.
इस संसार में बिना कपट का प्रेम नहीं होता.
So there is no love without deceit. In our heart, some way or other, there is some deceit. But the love that we have to Krishna is without any selfish motive and deceit. So there is no deceit in our love towards him. That is why in Gopikit it is mentioned that we are here servants and we don't need any remuneration for the same. We want to work for you free. Deceit arises when there is an expectation to receive something in return in office, in work, etc. But the gopis said that we want to serve you free. We just need your service. And we want to make you happy and satisfied, and we don't want anything in return.
इसी बात को जीव गोस्वामी ने उठाया, केतवम रहितम प्रेम नहीं भवति मानुष्य, वैसे तो मनुष्य लोक में कपट रहित प्रेम नहीं होता.
So in this material world, although there is no love without selfish interest, but we have selflessly loved him. So this is what they are asking Uddhav ji. And they say that it is mentioned in the Puranas that when there is selfless love, then there is no possibility of separation. They say that it's mentioned in the Vedas and the scriptures that selfless love cannot have any separation. It is impossible.
और कदाचित कपट रहित प्रेम में विरह हो जाए,
and if it so happens,
तो को जीवती, तो उस प्रेमी के विरह में वो प्रेमी जीवित कैसे रह सकता है?
and then if such situation arises, then the lover cannot live.
वो प्रेमी का जीवित कैसे?
He or she will definitely die bereft of that love. So our question is that, Uddhav, that we have loved him without any selfishness, and we have been separated, and yet we are alive. So we are unable to understand that although it is mentioned in the scriptures that in such a situation we have faced separation from the Lord, and still we are alive.
उस भक्त के जीवन छूट जाता है, प्राण निकल जाता है. और केवल शास्त्र वचन नहीं उद्धव, इतिहास भी
And
क्या कहता है?
it is not only about the scriptures, but it also is proved in history. In Treta Yuga, Maharaj Dashrath, the father of Lord Sri Ram, was so much attached to his son Lord Sri Ram, and Ramji left Dashrath ji.
अपने मंत्री सुमंत्र को भेजा कि ये राम मानेगा नहीं, तुम मेरा रथ लेकर जाओ,
And
2-5 दिन उसे घुमा
Dashrath
कर
ji
वापस
sent
अयोध्या
Sumat,
लेकर आना।
his minister, to accompany and after a few days convince Ramji to come back.
और फिर आप सब जानते हैं तमसा के तट पर
As you all are aware that
सारे अवधवासियों को छोड़कर
he left all the Avadvasis
रथ हाँ कहूँ ताता सुमंत्र जी को कहा कि रथ चला लीजिए,
and he sent Sumantraji also.
पहुंचे और श्रृंगेरपुर से सुमंत्र जी को
And
भी वापस लौटा दिया।
from
राम जी ने जैसे जैसे
there he returned Sumantra as well
सुमंत्र जी को मनवाकर
by convincing him
दिया। आधे रास्ते में सुमंत्र
to
जी
return.
पहुंचे, तब अपने मन
And
को कोसते कि अरे मन ये तूने
halfway when he reached, he was contemplating that, oh my God, what I have done.
मन ये तूने क्या किया?
I have been so unwise. What have you done? You have lost this opportunity.
तू अवसर चूका। क्यों? तो वहां पर
Why?
सुमंत्र जी अपने मन को कहते हैं कि महाराज ने तुम्हें भेजा था
Said
राम
that
को लाने के लिए।
the king has sent you to
सुमंत्र जब राम
bring
को
Lord
लाने
Ram
के लिए आ
back.
गया थी, तो
So
राम को
the
लेकर
order was
वापस
to
आती
bring him back.
और चलो
Then
राम
you should
वापस
have
आ गया।
fulfilled that
तो मन तुझे
order.
राम के
And
विरह में मर जाना चाहिए
if
था।
he was not returning, then
न
you
तो
should
तू
have
राम को लेकर आया,
died
न
there.
राम के विरह में प्राण छूटे। राम को लेकर
Neither
आया
were
होता
you
तो
able to
राजा
bring him
विरह में
back,
रहते, और
nor
राम के विरह
you
में
have
प्राण छूट
died.
जाता तो इतिहास के
So,
पत्तों पर अमर हो जाता। न तो
had
राम
you
लेकर आया, न राम
bought
के विरह में
Ramji
प्राण
back,
छूट
then the
गए।
king would
ये
have
तो अवसर चूका।
given you
ऐसी
prize,
बात रामायण में
and by
सुमंत्र जी अपने
leaving
मन
your
को
body,
कोसते हैं।
you would have had name in the pages
और
of
जब
history,
सुमंत्र जी
but you
अयोध्या
have
पहुंचे,
lost both these
महाराज
opportunities.
दशरथ सुमंत्र जी की राह देखते हैं।
King Dashrath is waiting for Sumantra, his minister.
रानी सुमित्रा कौशल्या उनके बगल में खड़ी हैं।
So his wives are there
सुमंत्र
with,
भाई तू आ गया?
and they,
कहाँ मेरा राम?
Dashrath asked that where is Lord Ram, and Sita, he asks Sumantra ji,
कहते हैं
and he
कि आपकी आज्ञा
replies,
के अनुसार राम
I
लक्ष्मण सीता को लेकर मैं गया तो सही,
I went on your request
सारी अयोध्या हमारे साथ
along
चली।
with Ram, Sita, and Lakshman ji, along with the whole
तमसा के तट
Ayodhya
पर हम
Vasis
लोग रुके,
or inhabitants of Ayodhya.
श्रृंगेरपुर पहुंचे। प्रथम
They,
वास तमसा भई हूँ दूसर
at the
सुरसा
banks of
तीर। पहला
the
निवास तमसा
river,
के तट पर किया
at the
और दूसरा
Tamsa
गंगा के
river,
तीर पर।
and on
फिर अपने बेटे राम
the
ने गंगा में
second
स्नान
stop
किया।
was at Ganga
राम
ji's
तुम्हें
river
जल
banks,
पान करी
and after
और
they
राम
king
तुमने
the
पहली
bath
बार
there,
गंगा जल का पान किया।
and first time he
फिर
drank
इधर का पानी
the
बाद
holy
में
water
पीने वाले।
of Ganga ji or river Ganga.
और जब सुमंत्र जी ने कहा
When
कि
Sumantra ji
राम जी ने
said,
गुह को कहा कि गुह जाओ, उस वृक्ष का वट वृक्ष का दूध निकाल कर लाओ।
he told that
वट
bring the
वृक्ष का
milk
दूध
of
निकाल
the
कर
tree
अपने
of
देव
water
लाए और राम जी ने
or
अपने बालों
banyan,
में डालकर उसकी जटा बनाई।
and
इतना
he
सुंदर
used
तो
that
दशरथ जी जर
milk.
जर 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 जर
He
इतने सुंदर
made
थे।
a ponytail,
और महाराज
and Dashrath ji was
14 वर्ष के पहले
crying vehemently
सुमंत्र जी ने कंक्लूजन दे
on
दिया।
listening that. And Sumantra ji said that Ramji will not return until the 14 years have passed.
રાજા બધાને ભલામણ કરવા માંડ્યા, બધા સંપીને રહેજો,
In Gujarati, it is said that
રામ આવે
the king
તો એનું સ્વાગત કરજો।
started giving
સુમિત્રા
instructions to
ध्यान रखना।
all the people around him that please take care of
सुमित्रा समझ गई
Kaushalya
कि
ji,
महाराज
Sumitra,
अब
and
अब प्राण नहीं रख पाएंगे।
welcome Ram
कौशल्या
when
को कहती है बहन
he is
हमें
back.
वशिष्ठ जी को
Sumitra
बुलाना
ji
चाहिए।
understood that Dashrath ji won't live for long, and she advised Kaushalya ji to call for their spiritual master Vashishta ji. Everybody is telling him to be calm, and he says that what is the benefit of keeping this body now? Because my life, my soul has left me, and when he is not here, then what shall I do by keeping this body? He says that, oh Raghunandan, without you, so many days have passed. Although only 5 to 6 days have passed, yet he said that so many days have passed, and he was remembering Lakshmanji's and Sitaji, Ramji, and in this manner, Dashraji is leaving his body on separation from Ramji.
राम राम कही राम, राम राम कही राम कही, राम राम कही राम, तनु परी हरि रघुवर बिरह, राउ गए सुरधाम, तनु परी हरि रघुवर, राउ गए सुरधाम। राम 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 6 बार।
By saying Lord Ramji's name 6 times, Maharaj Dashrath left his body. And the gopis are remembering this pastime. They say that
कपट रहित प्रेम था
Lord Dashrath had selfless love for Lord Ram.
ये किसी का माइक चालू है अमित नारायण? हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा
हो गया प्रभु जी डन।
तो गोपियां कहती हैं कि दशरथ जी का प्रेम,
Gopis say that the love of Dashrath ji was selfless towards Lord Ram, and when he had separation from him, he left his body, and because he left his body, the history has mentioned his name as
दशरथ पावा जीवन मरण फल, दशरथ पावा अंडयनेक अमल जस छावा, जियत राम विधु बदन निहारा, जियत राम विधु बदन निहारा, राम बिरह करी मरण सवारा, राम बिरह करी मरण सवारा, जीवन मरण फल दशरथ पावा अंडयनेक अमल जसु पावा जीवन मरण फल दशरथ पावा अंडयनेक यमल जसु पावा। अद्भुत। दशरथ जी के जब प्राण छूटे,
when Dashrath ji left his body, the whole material world, the earth started speaking that Lord King Dashrath has found the real fruit of living and dying in this material world. What are we doing with living or dying? The only benefit, only person who took the benefit is King Dashrath, because his fame has been become famous in all the universes. Throughout his life, he lived by seeing the face of Lord Sri Ram. When he lived seeing the Lord, and while dying, he was in separation of Lord Sri Ram.
मरकर अपनी मृत्यु को संवारा,
and he made his death also beneficial. So what is the greatest death is the mellow of separation from the beloved. That is why the gopis are remembering this and asking Uddhav ji,
लेकिन उद्धव हमारा एक ही प्रश्न है कि हम लोग मर क्यों नहीं रही है?
We have only one question, that why we are not dying. We have selfless, pure love towards the Lord. We have no deceit in our love or selfish interest, yet we are alive. You might have heard when Krishna left this world, after he left his body, the parents were alive, Devaki Vasudeva were alive, but because of the separation, they left their bodies. This is true love. Dashrath ji left his body in separation of Lord Sri Ram, and Devaki and Vasudev left in separation of Lord Sri Krishna. And in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about to leave his body, and when Haridas Thakur realized that, he said that I cannot tolerate the separation from you. That is why I want to leave my body before you. Because I won't be able to tolerate the separation from you. So the gopis say, if we are alive, what is the reason for the same? Why this Vedic injunction is not replicating in our lives? The gopis keep on asking. Uddhavji is mute. When he didn't reply, Lalita Sakhi said, maybe he doesn't have an answer. No problem. Lalita Sakhi folded her both arms and hands and said, please don't misunderstand. We are asking this question. It is not because of our inquisitiveness. But if we have hurt you as you were unable to answer us, then please forgive us. The gopis said that, let's go to Srimati Radharani. All the gopis, or damsels of Raja, went to a garden, that is Nikunj, and there this Srimati Radharani is present there, and Uddhavji is following the damsels of the Praja. If Uddhavji wanted, he could have gone back to Mathura because there was no purpose of his visit. He had met the parents and the gopis as well. But Uddhavji became inquisitive that Lord Sri Krishna has sent me. There might be some greater meaning or purpose. Had he sent me to give them knowledge or for me to teach a lesson, so let me follow them. Radharani is half conscious and half unconscious. Lalita and Vishaka, Srimati Radharani is telling to Lalita Devi and Vishaka that I want to leave my body. So they're saying that how can you leave the body? If we leave the body, then how are we going to achieve our Lord? Radharani said that the way that you are thinking that I will leave my body is not the way I'm thinking. I'm not able to get Shyam Sundar in this body. So there is only one way that I can achieve him. So it is mentioned in the Shastras or scriptures that if you are remembering anyone or something, then you achieve that thing or that person. So if you think about a dog, then you will become dog. It is mentioned in Shrimad Bhagvat Gita. So Krishna has left us and gone to Mathura, and we are not able to serve him anymore. So what will I do? I will, while dying, I will remember the 5 elements of this material world, so that when I leave this body, the 5 elements will come from my body, and the sky element. So that element will go and meet the sky element of the palace of Lord Shri Krishna, and the air element will mix with the element of air in Krishna's. In water I will mix, and where Lord Shri Krishna will see me. So I'm not able to find Krishna in a simpler manner. So I think this is the option that I can achieve Krishna. And if when I become dust, then it will mix with the ground of his kingdom. And when he will walk there, I will get his lotus feet. So in this manner, my body and my soul both will be attached to the service of Lord Shri Krishna. And saying so, Srimati Radharani fainted. In the meanwhile, Uddhavji arrived as well. And after some time, Srimati Radharani became conscious, and she saw that one honeybee is sitting at her lotus feet. Shri Shukdev Goswami says,
काचित मधुकरम दृष्टवा ध्यायन्ति कृष्ण संगमम. श्रीमती राधा रानी कृष्ण का ध्यान कर रही थी और उसी समय उनके चरणों में एक मधुकर, एक भंवरा आकर बैठा.
so she was remembering Krishna, and in the meanwhile, a honeybee comes and sits at her lotus feet and starts humming.
राधा रानी शब्द एक कल अधूरा रह गया था. श्रीमती राधा रानी क्या कर रही थी?
So what does Srimati Radharani do? Yesterday we spoke about Kanchim and Madhukar, or the honeybee. And what was Srimati Radharani doing at that time? She was meditating on Lord Sri Krishna. And how was she contemplating on her? It is very different and it is very difficult to understand. Although Radha and Krishna are in separation, yet she was meditating on their togetherness. That is the situation of bhava. You know what is a situation of bhava? It is a very different situation. When they are together, then they feel separation, and when they are separated, they feel togetherness. That is the contradiction in bhava stage, and which is here mentioned as Krishna Sangamam. Although Krishna is not present, yet they are feeling, Radharani is feeling togetherness with Lord Sri Krishna, and she is meditating on the same. Shri Rup Goswami describes this in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. It is a highly elevated verse. If you can able to understand, that would be great. So Srimati Radharani is feeling the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. So the technical is in the below screen. When there is a stage of Mahabhava, that is the 10th stage, then Srimati Radharani is on the lap of Lord Shri Krishna, yet they feel separation from each other. Let me share a pastime with which it will become more clear. So when we went for the Braj Parikrama, just remember the Prem Sarovar. When Lord Shri Krishna came to Barsana, and there they met together. They were both together, and on Krishna's lap was Radharani's forehead, or vice versa. And in this situation, a honeybee, a bhavra or madhukar is a honeybee. And this honeybee was disturbing Srimati Radharani and Shri Krishna. So a fly, what can it spoil for us? But yet we get irritated by its presence. Although the honeybee is not harmful, but still he was irritating them. So Madhumangal, their friend, was also standing there. He said that you are anxious because of this honeybee. He took his cloth and he catched the honeybee and then he left him far away. And Madhu Mangal was satisfied. He said that Madhu has left. Clap your hands. Madhu is left. And what happened in the meanwhile is because Krishna also is called as Madhu. And Srimati Radharani thought that Lord Shri Krishna has left. And Srimati Radharani started crying. It's mentioned in our scriptures. She said that, wow, now who will wear this garland that I make? And Lord Shri Krishna says that I am sitting in front of you, but yet Srimati Radharani is so confused and she is crying vehemently. This is the stage of Mahabhav. The lover is there, but yet she's feeling separation. And after seeing this, Lord Shri Krishna also started crying, seeing the mellows of Srimati Radharani. So both were crying so much that a sarovar was formed, and it is named as Prem Sarovar. Sri Shukdev Goswami says, Srimati Radharani is meditating on the togetherness with Lord Shri Krishna. I was contemplating since last 2-3 days on this one, and I could understood that I had a question that which pastime is Srimati Radharani thinking or contemplating on? I got the answer from our Guru Maharaj's speech. He said 3 things which I heard today. So in that mellow of separation, she could feel his presence or togetherness with him. And first of all, she is meditating on
Jai Kunja Bihari, Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanchari, Yamuna Tira Vanchari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. इस लीला का ध्यान हो रहा था.
So this is what Srimati Radharani is meditating upon. That Srimati Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna are together on the banks of Yamuna ji, and they are walking hand in hand. This is what I heard from
लेकिन किस पॉइंट पर?
the
काचित
from
मधुकर
Guru Maharaj.
ध्यायन्ति कृष्ण संगमम, कृष्ण के विरह में, उस महाविरह में इस प्रकार से विचरण कर ये देख रही है। एक दूसरा गुरुदेव ने कहा और
So
क्या?
the second Gurudev said,
तो राधा
what
रानी
is she saying?
कि मथुरा की स्त्रियों के
So
साथ
Srimati Radharani is saying that
संयोग सुख ले रहे हैं, राधा रानी ये
the
ध्यान कर रही है।
Lord Shri Krishna is enjoying with the women of Mathura. He has left me
के साथ संयोग सुख ले,
and now he is
और तीसरी बात गुरुदेव ने कही,
loving or
कृष्ण संगमम,
with
किस चीज का
the
ध्यान कर
women
रही है?
of Mathura. And thirdly,
कृष्ण चंद्रावली
Guru
की
Maharaj
सखियों
said
से मिलकर आए हैं, और क्योंकि अन्य सखियों से मिलकर आए,
she's thinking that Krishna has
राधा
met
रानी रूठ गई।
Chandravali and other
अब देखो
friends,
ये
and
कितनी
Srimati
ऊंची
Radharani is upset
कहां
about it.
पहुंचे? कृष्ण आए हैं तो राधा कृष्ण से रूठ गई है, अब कृष्ण राधा को मना रहे हैं।
And Krishna is trying
सिद्धांत की बात कहता हूं,
to convince
जब प्रिया प्रियतम
Srimati
का मिलन
Radharani.
होता है ना, जब मिलन होता है
So
तो वहां
when there
मान
is
लीला होती है।
togetherness of
मिलन में
the
मान लीला
lover
तो
and
होती
beloved,
है,
then
लेकिन
there
विरह
is
में
Man
मान लीला
Leela.
तो राधा और कृष्ण की ही हो सकती है। विरह
And
में कभी मान लीला होती है? विरह में कभी
Man
मान
Leela
लीला नहीं होती।
can
लेकिन
only be
जहाँ
for
विरह
Srimati
है,
Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna.
मतलब कृष्ण का विरह है और कृष्ण आए हैं, श्रीमती राधा रानी रूठी हुई है, कृष्ण राधा को मनाते हैं। मान लीला समझते ना? देखो ये सब प्रसंग समझने के लिए कुछ बेसिक चीज तो समझ कर ही सुनना पड़ेगा।
So Man Leela happens only in togetherness, but it is happening in separation, and it can happen only in the pastime of Srimati Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna. So Rukmini ji and Srimati Radharani both love Krishna. So the emotion or love towards Krishna is Tadiya Bhav for Lord Shri Krishna. And but for Srimati Radharani, her love is Madhya Bhav. So the Rukmani ji and Radharani both are lovers of Krishna. So Tadiya means I am Krishna's. Rukmini thinks that I am Krishna's or I belong to Krishna. But Srimati Radharani has an emotion that he is mine. So there is a huge difference. They both are mellows of love. But Srimati Rukmani Devi thinks that I belong to Krishna, while Srimati Radharani feels and thinks that Krishna is mine. So when Lord Shri Krishna jokingly told Rukmini Devi to go back home, she fainted. But here Srimati Radharani is totally in love with Lord Shri Krishna, and she cannot tolerate any competition. So this is the highest pitch of love. So Lord Shri Krishna came to enjoy this mellow of separation. So when Srimati Radharani saw this honeybee, she was thinking about their togetherness. And I have told you which pastime she was thinking. She was thinking about the Man Leela. A person who meditates day and night on which thing or situation, the world looks like that to him or her. If you're always thinking about Katha, uh, then even if you go out anywhere, you will see Katha everywhere. The only problem is that we do Krishna Katha, but the others are doing Kama Katha. So whatever, wherever your mind is situated, you will feel the world to be in the same mellow. So she's contemplating on togetherness. Then this honeybee also looks like Krishna to her. She's so much engrossed in remembering Lord Shri Krishna that the honeybee also looks like Krishna to him. So here is a principle here that I want to share. When we think about a person throughout day and night, then we will see the whole world in that form. If your mind and heart is pure, then the whole world will look pure and pious. But if our mind is impure, then we will see faults in everyone. So our mental condition reflects on this world. Sometimes people become angry and they say that I said by mistake. It's actually the actual thought that you had which had slipped out of your mind. With your duplicity, you have tried to hide it, but it came out finally. In Shrimad Bhagavatam, Nav Yogeshwar Muni was asked, a pure devotee of the Lord, what is his introduction? So a Hari named Rishi answers, he says that a Shuddha Bhakta or a devotee
पश्ये भगवत भावम आत्मनः भूतानि भगवतात्मनि येष भागवत उत्तमः। शुद्ध भक्त कैसा होता है? प्योर डिवोटी। गोपियां भी शुद्ध भक्त हैं।
Who is a pure devotee like the gopis? So the introduction for a pure devotee is,
ये आपकी तो बात हो रही है ना, आपकी लीला में बोल रहा हूँ। मेरे जैसे
we are talking about you all are pure devotees. If we want to become pure, then how should we be? In all the living entities, he sees Bhagvat Bhava Atmanaha. That means he sees every living entity as Lord himself.
कृष्ण का दर्शन हुआ।
And Srimati Radharani, seeing the honeybee, she thinks that he is Krishna. And this is what is being reflected here from the scriptures. And it will manifest in our body, in our life only when we use all our senses and fill our heart with Lord Shri Krishna. by seeing him and serving him through all our senses. This has been mentioned in Sri Ramayan.
यही बात यहाँ पर है। और सभी जीवों में भगवत भावना करके क्या होना चाहिए? भूतानी भगवती आत्मानी,
And
प्रत्येक जीवों का आदर। अब सभी जीवों में भगवान दिखाई दिए।
and then when you think that everybody has a living, every living entity has Lord himself, then we will not blaspheme the Lord, nor we will criticize. Then we will not ever find any fault in another living entity. And then the solution will automatically come. When we see Lord in everyone, then there is no question of fault finding. So, a person who meditates on fault finding, then they will always find fault because they're meditating on fault finding. And all who are meditating on the Lord will see Lord everywhere. And we have quite experience of our Guru Maharaj. Let me remind you, I have seen such saints in our life. In Mumbai, our home is there. And whenever he used to visit Mumbai, then we used to have an opportunity to serve him and see him. So we used to have activities in Tulsi Tower, that is our home. So we were living in the 7th floor, and Lord Guru Maharaj came, and when we were about to leave them from Burivali to Juhu, and as soon as we entered the lift, we pressed for the ground floor. By mistake, the lift went upwards, and I started. So I was apologizing with Guru Maharaj that the lift is going upwards. So Maharaj Shri said only one thing, that we are going upwards, we are not going downwards. So don't worry. And he realized that on the 7th floor is earth, because the building is 14 stories. So he said that we are going towards Brahmalok, don't worry. When he was put in the machine for MRI, in those times the machines were not that high tech. And he was there for 1 hour 90 minutes. When he came out of that machine, he said, I felt that I was in the mouth of Aghasur. So who can have such realization? This can be of a person who always meditates on the names of Lord. And this is our goal. This is what we should achieve in our life. Until the point we achieve that, we will always be entrapped and entangled in the false finding and will be always doing offenses. Now that we have got this opportunity, so I thought, let me share some practical things with you. The Srimati Radharani always meditates on Lord Shri Krishna, and that is why she could see Krishna in honeybee. We cannot achieve that situation that we can see Krishna in honeybee, but at least we should see Krishna in other human being. We always try to find faults, but great is Srimati Radharani. So let's complete this one.
ध्यान कर रही थी। प्रिय पस्था पिपम पीतम दूत, इस भंवरे को राधा ने देखा जो राधा रानी के चरणों को छू रहा था।
So this honeybee was touching the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and mumbling,
प्रस्थातीतम दूतम, अरे ये मेरे प्रिय कृष्ण ने अपने दूत को
she
यहाँ
thought
पर
that
भेजा है।
Lord Shri Krishna, my beloved, has sent a messenger.
देखकर ऐसा भाव किया, पहला भाव तो ये था कि ये स्वयं कृष्ण है।
So first was
जो
that
जो मेरे
this
पाँव
is
में आकर
Krishna himself
मुझे क्षमा याचना मांग रहा है, मुझे मना रहा है। मैं रूठी
who
हुई
is
हूँ, तो रूठी हुई माता
trying
को कृष्ण मना रहा है।
to
पहले तो ये भावना
convince
हुई
me and
कि
appease
ये
me
भंवरा नहीं है, कृष्ण जो
as
मुझे
I am
मना रहा
upset
है।
with him.
और दूसरी भावना क्या हुई?
But the second thought was that
प्रस्थातीतम, ये प्रिय नहीं है, लेकिन ये प्रिय
he's
कृष्ण का
not
भेजा हुआ दूत,
Krishna, but
दूत
he's
है।
a messenger of Lord Shri Krishna.
और प्रिय के द्वारा प्रस्थातीतम भेजे हुए दूत को कल्पयित्वा, वो दूत था नहीं, वो तो भंवरा था।
He was not a messenger, he was a honeybee.
राधा को ये
But
भावना हुई, तो उस
Srimati
भंवरे को
Radharani is
देखकर
imagining
कृष्ण है या कृष्ण का दूत है, ये भावना हुई।
seeing him.
कल्पयित्वा, ये भावना करते ही इदम ब्रवीत, राधा रानी इस प्रकार से बोलने लगी।
And in this manner she
भ्रमर गीत
speaks.
प्रथम श्लोक।
So the first verse of Bhramar Geet.
गोप्य उवाच मधुपकितव बन्धो मा स्पृशङ्घ्रिसपत्न्या, मधुपकितव बन्धो मा स्पृशङ्घ्रिसपत्न्या, कुचविलुललितामाला कुङ्कुमश्म अश्रुभिर्न, वहतु मधुपतिस्तन मानिनीनां प्रसादं, वहतु मधुपतिस्तन मानिनीनां प्रसादं, यदु सदसि विडम्ब्यं यस्य दूतस्वमित्रे, यदु सदसि विडम्ब्यं यस्य दूतस्वमित्रे। गोप्य उवाचः,
The gopi said, Gopya Uvacha means the gopi said. So we will proceed understanding the mellows. Sri Shukdev Goswami says, in Vyasmuni writes, Gopya Uvacha means gopi said.
अंत में इसे कहते हैं एक वचन अंत शब्द। यहाँ पर
So it is singular.
एक वचनांत है।
Ekvachan means singular form.
एक वचनांत गोपी उवाच, इस एक वचनांत व्याकरण से ये समझ में आता है,
According to the grammar, we can understand that the person who is about to speak is singular person.
कोई एक गोपी, और वो एक गोपी और कोई नहीं, श्रीमती राधा रानी ही है।
And that is
राधा नाम न लेकर यहाँ पर
not any other but Srimati Radharani.
मैंने आपको कल कहा था कि सुखदेव गोस्वामी का रिस्पेक्ट था इसलिए, या फिर सुखदेव को समाधि लग जाती
Because we have told you the reason why we never named Srimati Radharani. Yesterday we discussed that.
यशोदा के अलावा किसी भी गोपी का नाम लेना ही नहीं है, किसी को बुरा लगे ऐसा करना ही नहीं, न ललिता
Or
किसी का नाम
otherwise, he didn't name because he doesn't want it to upset any other gopis. So he always used the word gopi or Vrajastriya.
अब यहाँ पर प्रश्न ये होता है,
So there can be a question here.
यहाँ पर गोपी उवाच इसके बदले और भी बहुत कुछ कह सकते थे,
There could be any other word like Radha Uvacha or Vrajangananam, etc.
गोपी शब्द कहने का भाव क्या है? आचार्यों ने कहा
why is the word gopi is used here? So there are two reasons. First,
ग्रामवासिनी स्त्री का संकेत करता है।
gopi signifies or denotes the women from the village. It will not suit the people or women in city life.
तो गोपी जो है ना गांव में रहने वाली स्त्रियों का संकेत करता है।
So gopi word denotes the women of village. And we all will agree that the people of village are more pure, soft and kind-hearted. It's not the fault of the city dwellers because the city has competition and nobody who is simpleton can survive. So it automatically happens as an existential situation or crisis. So people from village are more clean, pure and tender-hearted.
जो गुण आते
In city,
गांव में बिना भक्ति के ही वो गुण होते हैं।
what we achieve by performing pure devotional service of the Lord, that is bhakti, those qualities are already there in the villagers. They get up every day, visit the temple, light the lamp, etc. It is quite natural for them.
ये गोपी शब्द जो है ना ग्राम्यवाचक है गांव में रहने। तो इसका अर्थ ये है
So
कि
this gopi, a word, signifies village, and her heart is clean, pure, tender-hearted.
और गोपी शब्द का दूसरा अर्थ है
And the second meaning is gopan.
गोपन के अर्थ में है। गोपन माने सीक्रेट।
Gopan means secret, to keep a secret. So who is this gopi?
अपना प्रेम गुप्त रखने वाली
The one who hides her love towards Lord Shri Krishna as a secret.
गोपी नहीं होती, धोती पहनने वाला ही गोप नहीं होता। वास्तविक गोप गोपी का अर्थ है कि
Not only by wearing a gopi dress or a dhoti can a person become a gop or gopi,
शब्द दूसरा गोपन के अर्थ में है।
but a person who hides their love towards the Lord, that is gopi.
बंधो मां स्पृशंग्री सपत्न्या मधुपकितव बंधो मां स्पृशंग्रीं सपत्न्या। तो श्लोक का प्रारंभ होता है मधुप।
The verse starts with the word madhup. Gopiya Uvacha, Srimati Radharani said, Uddhavji is listening, all the gopis are listening, and we also are listening through the medium of Amrit Charcha. You can contemplate on the pastime now. So she said, oh honeybee, madhup means honeybee.
भी कह सकते थे, भंवरा भी कह सकती थी, बहुत सारे नाम ले सकते थे, भ्रमर भी कह सकती थी, मधुप।
They could have used any other name, but why only madhup is mentioned? A honeybee who drinks the nectar of honey, and by drinking that, it becomes energized.
वैसे यहाँ भी शराब को मधु कहते हैं, मधुशाला। मधुशाला, शराबशाला, बियर बार। तो मधुप, मधु पीने वाला। तो एक भाव ये है कि पराग को
one mellow is that a person who is intoxicated, don't touch my feet.
अब भंवरा तो अब चरणों में आ रहा था, राधा ने
Don't dare to touch my feet. intoxicated. We don't touch me because your nature is not good. As a honeybee gets intoxicated by the lotus, and when the lotus has no juice, he moves on to another. And so you have no principle, so don't touch me.
अब राधा रानी को लगा कि ये मधुप और कोई नहीं, ये
And she felt that this honeybee is none other than a messenger of Lord Shri Krishna. She said, what kind of person are you that my competitor, Krishna is roaming with other women, and as you are with Krishna, that vermilion, etc., that has touched my lover from other women is there in your whiskers. So you go from here. So he said that, what is my fault? The honeybee said, what is my fault? And she said that the first fault is that you are a friend of a deceitful person. Madhupa, honeybee, Kitava Bandhu means you are a friend of a deceitful person. You're a friend of deceitful Krishna, and this is your biggest fault. This is Radharani's love. This is very higher stage. It is not like us. So let's understand this word Kitav Bandhu. Kitav Bandhu means deceitful. So Kitav, if we break it, we'll get two words, Ki plus Tava. Ki means you, or Tav means who. So who are you? So that means a person who are selfish, and after their purpose is solved, they will ask, who are you? So that means Kitav means selfish. So, and you are his friend. He is selfish and you are his friend. So the honeybee said that I am not selfish, but she said that you are friend, because when you associate with someone, then you become like them. So you also are selfish or deceitful. So if the honeybee says, what is the problem in deceit or selfishness? Radharani says, yes. Kapat or deceit means what? This word kapata is comprised of three alphabets. Ka plus pat. Ka means pleasure. Pat means closing the door or closing. So kapat means to cover the pleasure is kapat. So please remember, when you have deceit towards someone, first of all, when we cheat, we will never feel pleasure. Even if we earn crores of rupees, then also you will never feel pleasure. a person who cheats can never be pleasure, and nor can the person who is being cheated enjoy pleasure.
लेकिन कपट का अर्थ आज समझ में आया। क माने सुख, पट माने बंद कर दे, जो सुख के दरवाजे को बंद कर
So
दे,
the door
वो
which
भी सुख
closes
से ढक जाता है,
happiness or covers happiness. Because a person who cheats and the cheated both get devoid of happiness or pleasure.
कि हम सब साधक भक्त हैं,
So we all are
हम साधक
sadhakas.
भक्तों को कभी भी कपट नहीं करना चाहिए।
So we should
राधा
never
रानी यहाँ
be
पर सबसे
deceitful
पहला
or
पॉइंट रखती है कि मधुप
never
तू
be
यहाँ से चला जा,
kapati,
ये शब्द आएगा, तू यहाँ से चला जा,
the
क्योंकि तेरे अंदर कपट,
killer
बोले
of
मेरे
pleasure
बोले तू जिसका
or
एसोसिएशन
happiness.
करते उसके अंदर कपट है, और जो कपट
So
करता है
Srimati Radharani is saying
कहती
that
मां स्पृश
she
ओ
asks,
गिरी, मेरे चरणों को स्पर्श मां स्पृश, मेरे चरण को स्पर्श मत करना।
you should
इसका
not touch
अर्थ
my feet.
जो
That means
भक्त
that
जो साधक
a
कपट करेगा
devotee
वो
who
राधा रानी के
cheats
चरणों को टच नहीं कर
will
पाएगा,
never be
कृष्ण
able to
प्राप्ति नहीं
touch
कर पाएगा,
or
ईश्वर
get the mercy of
प्राप्ति नहीं कर
Srimati
पाएगा।
Radharani.
ईश्वर की प्राप्ति में एक ही सबसे बड़ा स्पीड ब्रेकर है और वो
So
है
the
कपट।
biggest obstacle
एक बात याद रखिए,
to get mercy of Srimati Radharani or her lotus feet
काम है
is
तो भक्तों ये
deceitful.
काम है, ईश्वर ने ही काम पैदा किया है।
Krishna.
काम की सृष्टि तो ईश्वर से ही हुई ना, संसार प्रजा उत्पत्ति के लिए।
So if we have this carnal desire, then all these qualities, envy, etc. were created by Lord. But this kapat, we have manifested it. And so rest of others, the Lord considers and tries to help with them. But when we perform kapat or deceit, then we will never achieve the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna or Srimati Radharani. In Ramayana, it is said or explained beautifully in the below verse.
Niramal jana so mohi pava, niramal mana jana so mohi pava, मोहि कपट छल छिद्र न भावा, हे जी मोहि कपट छल छिद्र न भावा। रावण ने लात मार के विभीषण को निकाल दिया।
Ravan kicked Vibhishan from Lanka and he took the shelter of Lord Sri Ram. When they heard that Vibhishan ji is coming, so they asked that, shall we remove him? Sugriv ji said that he is the brother of Ravana, so we should kill him. So Ramji said that although he is a demon or brother of Ravana, but he is still my dear. But only one person who I don't like, a person like Ram is saying that I don't like one type of person. If somebody has a pure heart, then he will achieve me. But remember, but if somebody cheats me or my devotee or other people, then I will never love them. So Gujaratis will say that if we don't cheat, then people will cheat us. If sometimes it so happens, then we should tolerate that, but we should not cheat others. So we are discussing this Kitav Bandho right now. So she's saying that don't touch my feet because you are friend of a selfish, deceitful person. So Shabriji asked Lord Sri Ram, how should I do pure devotional service towards the Lord? And he says,
Guru pad pankaj सेवा तीसरी भक्ति यमा गुरुपद पंकज सेवा जी तीसरी भक्ति यमा चौथी भक्ति मम गुण गण चौथी भक्ति मम गुण गण करई कपट तजी गान करई कपट तजी गान। हे शबरी गुरु के
Shabri, O Shabri, serve the lotus feet of your bona fide spiritual master and sing my glories. So Harinam or chanting means singing the glories of the Lord, taking shelter of His holy name. But while with chanting of the holy names, we should not be deceitful. Kapat tajigan means we should not be deceitful or we should not cheat. So if Srimati Radharani doesn't like deceitful people, then Lord Sri Ram and Krishna, and even Lord Sri Ram says that I don't like deceitful person. Then what is the question of Lord Sri Krishna? So the honeybee said that I am a friend of a deceitful person. So what deceit has my friend Lord Shri Krishna has done? How has he cheated you? So she says that I want to ask what he has done. And Srimati Radharani answers,
यामा भजंतन दुर्जर गेह श्रृंगला संवृश्य तद प्रतियातु साधुना। ये जो कृष्ण है ना, राधा जी कहती हैं,
Radharani says, this Krishna, at the time of Rasalila, when we went to him and he manifested in front of us, these are his words. He promised us that, oh gopis or damsels of Raja, that the love that you have towards me is endless, it's infinite. So that means that I can never be able to pay you back. I'm indebted to you, and I can never be free of your love. You gopis have left your home, husband, children, everyone. It is so tough. It is such a huge bondage. And you left everything, and now I'm indebted to you. My whole life will pass, but I won't be able to be relieved of this debt. I promise I will never leave you. So Lord Shri Krishna has promised us that. So we understand that he had some work in Mathura. When he was leaving for Mathura, he again said,
तप्य अतिर्वीक्ष्य स्वप्रस्था न यद उत्तम सांत्वयामास सप्रेमे आयास्य इति दोत्यके। जब वे मथुरा जा रहे थे,
when he was leaving for Mathura,
हम तो कोई रोक नहीं सकती,
he had some work and we will not stop him. He said that you're independent, you can go, but just kill us through this chariot, and before you leave and we are killed every day, it's better that you kill us in one stroke. And what did Krishna say in the second line? Yes, yes, yeah. That means that I will come. So this way Krishna has promised. He speaks about gratitude and he promises that I will come, and he has not fulfilled his promise. This is his deceit, and the same quality is in you. Yes. He is spending time with the women of Mathura, and you also roam from one flower to other flower in search of honey. So you both are similar. And what was the shortcoming in the love of Yashoda Mai or Nand Baba whom he left? He bereft the cows of Raja. Is not this deceit? The cows are not eating grass since the day Krishna has left. He left even Giriraj and all the residents or denizens of Raja. Is not this deceit? So the honey bee says that Krishna is deceitful, but I am not. So she says that you are his friend. That is why you are also deceitful. So if we befriend someone who does offenses, then we will also get the blame for the same. If we want to judge someone, then we can judge by their friends or association they keep. So keeping association with wrong person is itself a sin. So once a hunter went to kill birds and he couldn't find anything, so he slept under the tree and he saw a swan was sitting on the tree. So that he should get some shade, the swan fluttered his wings so that he could get the shade. So he was serving the hunter. And in the meanwhile, a crow came. And he woke up the hunter. The crow flew away, but that swan was killed by the hunter. And the swan said that I have done good activity and yet I was killed. What was my problem? He said that your family background and your nature is perfect, but you had wrong association. Once the crow was there, you should have left. 1 second of association with the crow has got you killed. So this is how powerful association is. And because you associate with a deceitful person, you should not touch my feet. So the honeybee was in her lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And she says that you are bowing down at my lotus feet again and again, but please don't touch me. So there is another interpretation which is different from the principle that we are discussing, but it's a philosophical point which I want to share. So one of the Acharya has said that drinking the nectar of honey means drinking the so some drink liquor, etc., intoxicants, but other form is to enjoy the senses in this material world. And who are we? We are Kitav Bandhu. Means Kitav means deceitful or Krishna's Bandhu friends. So two birds are sitting on the tree, and two birds, Atma and Paramatma, both are sitting together in our heart. So we are Kitav Bandhu, and we are intoxicated by the material desires. Then we won't be able to touch Srimati Radharani's feet. If we are engaged in sense gratification, then we won't be able to achieve the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani or her mercy. And further, he adds, Sapatnaya
शरीर पर मसली हुई माला के
the whiskers, your whiskers are covered with vermilion of our competitors or Satan. So, do you understand that how unwise are you? You have the signs of her, and you're trying to convince us or appease us. Actually, it was the redness from the lotus flower, but Srimati Radharani denotes it to the vermilion of the women of Mathura. So Honeybee says that you said that you don't want to touch, I should not touch your feet. So I will go back to Mathura. And we'll send Lord Shri Krishna. And Radharani said, no, don't send him. Let him stay there.
मधुपति तत् मानी नीनाम प्रसाद मथुरा की जो मानिनिया है मथुरा की जो महिषिया है
let him
बहुवचन में बहुत सारी महिषिया उनके साथ ही विचरण करने दो उनको वहीं पर रहने दो
stay with the women of Mathura and you will see one day
वो मथुरा की स्त्रियों के साथ विहार कर रहे हैं विचरण कर रहे हैं
he is roaming around with the women of Mathura. One day in the assembly of Yadu dynasty, he will become defamed one day. The village women will not say anything, but what he is doing with the women of the city, they will not leave him and he will get defamed. Vidampana means defame.
यस्य दूत स्वमित्र
Here.
तू मुझे उसका दूत ही दिखाई दे रहा है।
So she said that you look like his messenger.
उस मधुकर
Doot means messenger.
कर रही है समय की
So this way,
आप सभी
Srimati Radharani is talking
इस कथा का श्रवण कर रहे हैं और बहुत अच्छे
to the honeybee.
2 घंटा हरि नाम जाप करते हैं और हरि नाम जाप
It's
करने के
very, it's great that we are chanting the holy names.
भ्रमर गीत की चर्चा
And after that, we are listening to this divine pastime of the Lord.
भाव से बड़े धैर्य से
All are listening with so much love and patience. We are really grateful and thankful to you
शुरू हुआ है
all. So we have just started. There are so many things that we will discuss
जीवन को धन्य करेंगे
upcoming days and will make our life grateful. I especially want to thank the host family,
पूरा परिवार श्री राधा श्याम
the Patel family, Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Sumita Mataji,
पारुल माता
Sunil Prabhu, Parul Mataji,
संजय कुमार
Manisha Ben,
आप
Sanjay Kumar.
का भूरी भूरी धन्यवाद
I'm really thankful to all of you.
स्नेह प्रेम के कारण ही
By your love and mercy, we are able to listen this divine pastime of the Lord.
जय जयकार के
So let's conclude the session with Jai Jaikar on for the 4th day.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की श्री कृष्ण चंद्र